Okay, in this video, we are going to talk about how you can calculate cross products by hand. I'm going to do two examples, show you kind of like the standard way, and then the way that I actually do it. So let's take a look. Given the vectors v, which is v1, v2, v3, and w, which is w1, w2, w3, we want to find v cross w. Okay, so this is going to set up as a 3x3 determinant. The first row is going to be the standard unit basis vectors I, j, and k. So it's going to look like this. Now what we do is in the second row, we're just going to slot in v because we're doing v cross w. If we were doing w cross v, we would slot w into the second row. So whichever comes first goes in the second row. So that's going to be the vector v. Then the third row is going to be w because we're doing v cross w. So we slot that in. Now, your ability to successfully do this will come down to your ability to do a 2x2 determinant. So a 2x2 determinant, we have here the determinant of a, b, c, d. That's going to be ad minus bc. So it's the diagonals. You do a times d minus b times c. Now, let's look at how this applies to our cross product. So what you do is we're doing expansion by minors across the top row. You can do a lot of these without ever knowing that. We're going to start off with I, and then what you do is you cross out the row and the column. So the ijk row is gone, the I v1 w1 column is gone, and we get a 2x2 determinant, which is v2 v3 w2 w3. Okay, so you're going to cross out the row and the column, and whatever 2x2 determinant is left, you're just going to write it down. Now this part that I'm about to write is the number one reason people will get these wrong once they know what they're doing. It's I and then minus j. So minus j, and it's always that, so you can just remember that. It's going to be minus j. Cross out the row, so that's the ijk row. Cross out the column, that's j v2 w2. And what we're left with is the 2x2 determinant, v1 v3 w1 w3. Now we do k, so it's back to plus. So it's always plus minus plus. The minus j is the killer, right? You got to watch out for that one. So cross out the row and column that k are in. So the ijk row, the k v3 w3 column, gone. We are left with the 2x2 determinant v1 v2 w1 w2. That's going to be our cross product. So a lot of times people will write this out even more. But just remember, each of those 2x2 determinants, you're doing AD minus BC, so diagonal minus diagonal, starting with the upper left corner. All right, so I'm going to do two examples. So the first one, I'm just going to expand it the way that this is given. So we have this. We want to find V cross W. So I'm going to start off with my IJK row, because always that's going to happen. Because V comes first, I'm going to slot in V in the second row, so 5, 3, 4. And then because W comes second, I'm going to slot it into the third row. Also, it's the last thing, right? So 6, 2, 8. All right, so we set it up. We're going to go I, cross out the row and the column that I are in. I is in, I are, I couldn't, I don't know. Cross out the row and column with I. So IJK is gone, I, 5, 6 is gone. We get the 2x2 determinant, 3, 4, 2, 8. Now, minus J, that's the killer one. Cross out the row and the column, so we're going to be left with 5, 4, 6, 8, and then plus k. Cross out the row and the column for k, we're left with 5, 3, 6, 2. All right, now we just have to do these, right? So this is going to be equal to I. For this 2x2 determinant, it's going to be 3 times 8, and then minus 2 times 4, minus j. And then 2x2 determinant, it's going to be 5 times 8 minus 6 times 4, and then plus k, and our 2x2 determinant will be 5 times 2 minus 6 times 3. Okay, and then we just do the math on this, so this gives us 24 minus 8 is 16, minus j, 40 minus 24 is 16, and then plus k, 10 minus 18 is negative 8. And then I like to write these in component form, so I would write this. So V cross W is 16, negative 16, negative 8. Don't forget it is minus J. Can't emphasize that enough. That'll be the thing that gets you. All right, let's look at one more. I'm going to try to show you the way that I do this, which the way that I create these videos is really hard to do, which is why I'm kind of experimenting with other ways to create the videos, because there's more I want to do. I just like don't really have the ability with the current setup that I'm using. But what I will do is I will stack them. So the reason I'm stacking them is I don't actually need to write the IJK row, because I just know that the IJK row is there, right? So what I'll do is I'll start off V cross W. I've already put them in the order they need to be in. So I'm imagining that I'm crossing out kind of the I column, right? So that first column. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cross it out. Okay, so that leaves me with this. This is my 2 by 2 determinant, so it's going to be 20 minus negative 6, which is 26. Then we're going to have minus j. And now what I need to do is I need to like copy this so that I can cross out the j column. So here goes. This will look like a jump cut. I've crossed out the j column. And now I have negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8, minus 6 times 7. So I have negative 8 minus 42 is negative 50. And then I'll have plus k. And then I'm going to jump cut again, where I'm going to cross out the k column. So that's gone. And now I have negative 2 times negative 1 is 2 minus 5 times 7, so minus 35. So 2 minus 35, negative 33. So I do them in my head like that all the time. The key thing is that I always stack them first, so it's less impressive than it looks when you kind of understand what I'm really doing there. Don't forget the minus j, and you will be totally fine. I'm going to write this in component form. 26, positive 50, negative 33. That's it. That's how you can do some cross products. I hope this was helpful, and good luck.